Hi all, welcome back. So we were discussing today about subprograms. So subprograms are also called methods, and in the subprograms we have procedures and functions. And procedures are fire and forget type of procedures, and functions are request and reply type. And within procedures, we have non-parameterized procedures and parameterized procedures, right? So non-parameterized, we have done a small example. And yes, so parameterized procedures, how they are going to work, let us have a small demo. Yeah, let me share. Okay, so parameterized procedures, let's go ahead and do a small demo. Okay, so in this we are going to just pass the parameters also. So whereas non-parameterized, we don't have any parameters. So let's go ahead and write an Apex class, file, new Apex class. So I'm writing a Apex class called math operations helper. Okay. So within this, I'm going to write a few parameterized procedures. So yeah, in our previous class, I told you how to distinguish between between a function and a procedure, right? So public, so if I use something like integer test, so is it a procedure or a function? It's a function because it has a return type. Okay, yeah, we are going to write that example as well. Whereas procedures do not have the return type, that means the return type is void. Okay, public void addition. Integer. So these are the parameters which we are passing, first number and second number. And then we need to write our statement system.debug. Yeah, so addition, it's just we need to do first number plus spelling plus second number, but we will have to give the parenthesis because we need to perform this operation and then concatenate it to our system debug statement, right? So semicolon. Okay, this is our addition procedure, which is a parameterized procedure. So let's write subtraction procedure. Subtraction, and here also I'm using the same I'm reusing it, but the name is subtraction integer first number, second number, and subtraction result is okay. Here I should do the minus, correct? Yeah, first number minus second number. Okay. The next one, multiplication. So let me write the similar kind of function again. That is for multiplication. And we have special scenario, next one. Multiply integer first number and then second number. And I am taking integer third number as well. So I'm going to perform the multiplication operation on these three numbers. Okay. Multiplication result is first number into second number into third number, right? First number, S number, third number, correct? Are we writing it correctly? Yes. So multiplication. And the next one is the division. So here actually we can write multiple scenarios, because if the first number if the second number provided is 0, then it is a problem, right? Division, first number, second number. Okay. So here, let's go ahead and make use of the if statement. If the first number, we will have to check the second number, because we are doing if second number greater than 0, then only we are going to do the division. Right? So this is if case. So since I'm writing only one line of code, I'm not using the flower braces. Yeah. And the else case is system.debug. Second number greater than 0. If it is less than or equals to 0, we are just mentioning a comment. Second number should be greater than 0. So if we may give the input as less than or equals to 0, then it is going to return this particular result. Okay, right? So this is our division and then close, right? So this is how we can write parameterized procedure. So I hope you were able to follow it. Yeah, public class math operations helper. And what I'm doing is I'm writing parameterized procedures. Okay, so public void addition, integer first number, integer second number. So system.debug addition result is I'm just adding those two numbers, first number, second number. Public void subtraction, first number, second number, and subtraction result is first number minus second number. Okay, public void multiplication, first number, second number, third number, and multiplication result is first number into second number into third number, right? And then division, what I'm doing, I'm checking for the divide by 0, otherwise it will give exception, right? Okay, so division integer first number, second number, if second number. So since we are using second number as the denominator, I'm just checking the condition only for the second number. Okay, so if second number greater than 0, then we can perform the division, that is first number divided by the second number. Else we cannot perform the division operation. So I'm just printing a message saying second number should be greater than 0. Okay, so if I enter 0 or less than 0, then it is going to put this message to the user, right? So this is how we can write our math operation helper class, that is parameterized procedures. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute it. So create an instance of your class. mhelper. New math operations helper. I'm just creating an object, mhelper, and then I'm calling my procedures, addition. Okay, so here we need to pass the values as we have given mentioned in the this in our implementation. Okay, so we will have to pass the integer numbers only. Okay, so let's take to 20 and 2300, something like that. So yeah, mhelper dot subtraction. So let's take a bigger number, first one. And I have taken everything as integers, 12,500, comma, let's say 2450. Yes. And then mhelper multiply. So here we have taken three numbers, let's say 10, comma, 24, comma, 55. So three numbers will be multiplied, and then mhelper dot division. So we will take, let's take a 0. So it should give us a message, right? So this is how you can just write down your parameterized procedures and test it. So I have done all the 4 parameterized procedures, and then I created an object for our class and I'm accessing the class members. Those are procedures. So I'm passing the parameters while executing. Okay, right. So let's go ahead and first we need to save our class. Save. Yep. Okay. So make sure there are no errors. So there are no errors. If you see here, the problems, there are no problems, right? Okay. And you are going to execute it. Right? So addition result, subtraction result, multiplication result, and the division result is not displayed. Instead, we have been mentioned second number should be greater than 0. We entered second number as 0, right? So let's go ahead and do some number. And now the division result should be displayed. Right? Division result is displayed. So this is how you write your code for uh, parameterized procedures. Okay, so let me paste this
So
code
earlier in the
on a
class where you have created the object, all I see is a class, right? Class name.
in the execute anonymous window.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, to answer, I get it from like to dynamically do it, we will have to know we'll have to create either, let's say, I clicked on a button on my page in the front end.
Hmm.
So then this procedure has to be invoked. Yes, we can do that. But yeah, we will have to learn Visual Force pages or Lightning Web components for the front end. Then we will be invoking them automatically.
No,
Okay.
no. My question is like in the if in before you were saying like we have created a class and we have created object, right?
Hmm.
In this code, I can only see a class name, but I don't see a object, right?
Here it is.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. I missed it.
Class
Sorry.
object.
Oh, sorry. I missed it. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, this is how we can do the parameterized procedures. And yeah, right in Apex. So we will be doing a small assignment for performing operations of string operations. And then we'll talk about function and an example, and we will be done for today's class. Okay. So that this concept is completed. Okay. So write an Apex class to perform string manipulations. Okay, so this is about parameterized procedures, and we were working on the integers, right? So let us go ahead and work on strings as well for the parameterized procedures. Okay, so go back to the code. So go back to our developer console and then create, let's go ahead and write our class, Apex class and string operations helper, something like that. So I'm writing a new class and the class name is string operations helper. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to check the string operations. So yeah. And this is also one example of parameterized procedures. Okay. So let's write a procedure which checks whether the strings are equal or not. Check equals. I'm just writing it. Any name you can give. String, let's say S1, string S2. Okay. And yeah, so here what I'm doing is we can just do a general text comparison, right? With our, which operator? Do you remember? So we were discussing, while discussing the operators, we have discussed about. Okay, so if it is just the text comparison, so let me take an example. I'm doing it as just text comparison. Okay, so if it is text comparison, we can directly write down like S1 is equals to S2. So that means we are just testing whether both the strings are equal or not. Okay, so this double equals to operator just checks whether the strings are equal or not. It doesn't check for case. Okay, so if I give first string as welcome with W caps and second string as welcome with small w, still it is going to say that both the strings are equal. Yes, anyone have questions here? Right, I'm just going to write one statement, that's why I remove them. So if it is equal, both the strings are equal. Okay, and else I'm just writing both the strings are not equal. Not equal. Okay, so this is just our text comparison, right? So let us also do another type of comparison for strings only, that is with the case, right? So public check equals with case. So for this, do you remember any available methods in our? Do you remember anyone? We have discussed actually. So here what I'm doing is I'm doing text comparison, right? So here I'm going to do the binary comparison. So to do the binary comparison, what operator or what method do we have, or function? Right. So there also I'm going to do the if S1. So we have a function called equals, right? S2. Okay. So this equals function does the binary comparison. We have already discussed this. Okay. So whereas double equals to operator does the text comparison. Okay. So yeah. I'll write the same code here. So if it is equals, both the strings are equal. both the strings are, if it is not equal, both the strings are not equal, right? So here, if I give welcome with W caps and welcome with W small, it is going to say both the strings are not equal because it's a binary comparison. In binary comparison, capital W is not equals to small w because capital W hexadecimal value is different from the small w hexadecimal value. Okay, so that's where it makes the difference. So we discussed this double equals to operator and the equals method, right? Okay, so let us write one more. Public void. So get string length. Okay, string str, and yeah, we are going to write it system.debug number of characters count is plus. So we while we discussed about strings, we have discussed about this method string dot length length. So we have few other methods also, like convert to uppercase, convert to lowercase. So all these methods are available in our string class, right? So we have discussed already all those methods, right? Okay. So I can even more write more procedures. Public void, let's say, convert to uppercase, one method, convert to lowercase, one method. For that, we are using str dot to uppercase, str dot to lowercase. So those already available methods with us. Okay, right. So okay, so this is our class. So what we are doing, text comparison for strings, S1, S2, S2. If S1 is equals to S2, both strings are equal, text comparison. If it is not equal, then the else part gets executed. So this is one procedure. The second one is the binary comparison, check equals with case, string S1 and string S2. If S1 dot equals S2, then both strings are equal, else not. So I'll show you the difference while execution. Public void get string length. So string length, we are going to get it str dot length. Okay, yeah, we can write more procedures also, but I'm not discussing them. By making use of str functions, that is str, let's say str dot length 1, str dot 2 uppercase. This is one more function which we have, and str.2 lowercase, though it is also one more function which is available within the string class. Okay, so we have already discussed that those functions, right? So yeah, now you see there are no problems. S1, S2 is missing, that's why it was showing errors. Now there are no errors. So let me go ahead and save this. Yeah, so it's saved, and let us go ahead and execute this. So yes, so here string operations helper. So here I want to give you an example of the static procedure, static methods as well. So till now we are creating the object for the class, and then only we are able to access the class members, right? So here, just simple example, string operation helper st is equals to new. So I'm creating an object, right? So st dot check equals welcome, welcome. So let's test it. See here I'm giving capital W and here I'm giving small w. Okay. So let's go ahead and execute. So it says both are equal since this is just text comparison. Both strings are equal. Okay. Right. I'm sorry. Okay. Mm. Okay, so this equals did a binary text comparison. It gave us output as both are equal, right? But let's go to the binary comparison. Check equals uh, with case. So this procedure we are running, and it even though both are same, here it says both are equal. Here it says both are not equal. Okay, so let's see the funny part. Right? So both the strings are equal since this is just the text comparison. So capital W and small w are treated as equal, same, whereas in the binary comparison, capital W and small w are not treated as same. So that's why it's saying both are not equal. Okay, right? So what is other one? Get string length. So here, this string length, the length of function in the string class. So as I told you, it also counts the spaces as one character. So we already discussed. Okay. Welcome to functions. So yeah, it will count all the characters. Okay. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 characters, right? So it should display the length as 20 characters, correct? Okay, so let's execute it. 20, right? So this is how we can write down our perform our string operations, making use of the parameterized procedures. Okay. So yes, so we were writing the system.debug statement, right? So do you understand what this statement is all about? So it will display the test message. Okay. So do you understand what this statement is all about? The system.debug. So system is a class and debug is a function. Okay. So that's a function or the procedure which is present in a class called system. And we are calling this, in this particular scenario, we are calling the function with the help of class name. That means we are not creating any object. So class name dot the method name we are, right? So instead of creating an object for the class, we are using directly the class name, right? So you should now have a question. Can I also do the same with this string operations helper class? I don't want to create an object directly. String operations helper dot equals this. Can I call the this procedure from the class with the class name itself instead of creating an object? Yes, we can do that. The thing is, while defining the procedures, we will have to this procedures or functions, we will have to define them as static. So it should be defined with a keyword called static. Yeah. So let's do. So here, if you see, our class has public void check equals public void static check equals. So I'm defining this particular procedure as a static, and this one also as static. So after void keyword, you have to give the static keyword. So this also as static, and let me save. So now I don't need to create an object for this. I can eliminate this particular thing. So I can call the procedures with the help of class name dot procedure name, right? So this is also not needed, right? So I'm not creating any object here. I'm just calling the class members with the help of class name. That is class name dot the member name, the method name or the function name or the procedure name. Okay. So I'm just calling with the class name. This we can do only when we define that particular procedures or functions with the with static keyword. Okay. So you can directly uh, call them with a class name. So here why we do that is, one reason is we are trying to avoid unnecessary usage of memory by creating an object. So if we create an object, a memory gets allocated. So yeah, static members we can directly access with the class name itself. Okay. So hope you are all with me. So let's execute. I didn't save. Yeah, there are some errors. Let's see. Yeah, static should be coming first. After void, it should be the procedure name only, because the return it's a kind of return type. Okay. Yeah. Now the errors should disappear is what I was thinking. Yeah. You see it, right? Okay. So let's execute. Okay. So yes. So without without creating an object, we are able to access the class members with the help of class name. That is only when we define our procedures or functions with the keyword static. Okay. So static methods, static functions, static procedures can be accessed with the class name. Okay. Right. So that is one important thing. Uh, So coming to the procedures, so we can do the nesting also for the procedures. That is, we can define one procedure within another procedure. Yes, we can do it. And a class can have both static as well as non-static procedures. So that means you can either define a method as a static or non-static. I mean, within the same class, you can have one procedure as static, one procedure as a non-static. You can have that, right? So static procedures can be invoked from a non-static procedure, and the reverse is not true. That is, a non-static procedure cannot be invoked from a static procedure. So you will have to remember this point. So we can invoke a static procedure from a non-static procedure, but a non-static procedure cannot be invoked from a static procedure, right? So these are the like a few points which we will have to remember while writing the static or non-static procedures, right? Okay. So let's talk about the next one is our favorite functions. Okay. So the functions are so these functions are nothing but it those are same like our procedures, but only difference is these functions are going to wait for a response from the operation being performed. So same like our procedures, we are going to write one or more statements, uh, the business logic which we need in our function, and it based on the operations we perform, we write down the return type of the function, and also we make use of the keyword called return in our function for the function to return a value. Okay. So yes, so functions contains one or more statements to be used to perform certain operations inside the application, and it will return value back to the calling environment. So the calling environment will be waiting for some output from the function. Okay. So we can return the value by using the return statement, return word, keyword. Okay. And while preparing the function, we can pass the required parameters at runtime based on the need. Okay. So yes, in the functions, we can have parameters. Usually we have the parameters because there is a return type, and also we can dynamically pass the values at runtime. Okay. So yeah, here is how your yeah syntax. So let's take access specifier. This is the function syntax, and then static keyword optional. Yeah, if you want to define your function as static, you can use it. Otherwise, you can leave it. Return type. Yeah, this is data type, which type of value it is going to return. Okay. Function name, and then our favorite parameters, right? So write the business logic here. And the important point is return value. Right. So this is the syntax of a function. Okay. So access specifier, yes, public, private, protected, global, anything can be, usually public we use. And static, it's optional. So if you want to define your function as static function, you can define, else you can leave it. And the return type, this is very important. This is where it differentiates between function and procedures. So if it is void, it's a procedure. If it's having some return type, it's a function. So return type, we will have to decide our return type while we are defining our function itself. Okay. And then the function name, parameters. Okay. Write the business logic and the return. So it's going to return value based on this return type. It's going to return that value to the calling environment. Okay. Right. So this is how we can uh, define a function. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our um, example code for this particular functions. Okay, right. So let's go to our developer console. So I want to write a new Apex class and math operation utility. Math operation utility, it's a class name which I'm going to write. Okay, yeah. So in this, I just want to write down some functions. Public, so static. So I don't want to create an object. So I'm just using the method name as static and integer. So this is the return type. So the similar function which we have, similar procedure which we have written, addition, let's say. Right. So first number, integer f number, integer s number, and then what we are doing, we are using the return keyword, return first number plus, so the second number, right? So we are just returning something after performing the addition. So if you see here, we are performing the addition and then returning those value, right? So let's do subtraction or equals, anything, any operation we can do. So let's do equals operation, public static Boolean. So the Boolean is the return type. Check equals. I'm using the same parameters. Integer first number, integer second number. Okay. So here I'm writing some if condition, that is if first number is equals to Second number. Yeah. Return true, else return false. Yeah, similarly, we can write find bigger number, find smaller number, so many functions within our class. Okay. So here, if you see, I'm writing a class math operation utility, and in that I'm writing two functions, integer, public static integer addition. I'm just returning the addition, and public static boolean equals, whether I'm checking whether the numbers are equal or not. Okay. So let's go ahead and execute this particular piece of code. Okay. So how do we execute this? So here actually what is happening is we are expecting a return type. So yeah, and we define the functions as static. So we don't need to create, uh, we don't need to create what? Object, but we will have to save this class. Yeah, it is saved. So now what we are going to do is in our anonymous window, integer. So I'm creating a new variable and I'm displaying that addition result is equals to, and the class name dot uh, function name, because these are defined as static functions, right? So give me 3,400, 345. Yeah, sorry, semicolon, and then our system.debug statement. Addition result is plus, this is our add result value. Yeah. Similarly, we can also create our Boolean. Boolean is equals, I'm defining a new variable dot, what is our function name? It's check equals, right? Check equals, and we have to pass two numbers. Yeah. And then our system.debug statement. Both the numbers are equal up, equal, and then just putting, so it will be displayed what, either if it is, if both are equal, it is displaying both numbers are equal, true. both numbers are equal, false, right? So it will display that way. So yeah, did you understand what we were doing here, or any questions? So we just created a class math operation utility, and in that we have written two functions: addition function, which is of return type integer, and then we have added those two values and returned, and the integer value we are expecting, so we are defining here. And public static, we are defining these functions as static, so without creating an object we can access them. So static boolean, and boolean, it is saying whether two numbers are equal or not. If equal, true; if not, false. So here what we are doing is to store that particular result value, we will have to create a variable, right? So I just created first function, return value is integer. So integer add result is a new variable I created, and I'm calling with the class name dot the function name, and I'm passing the values. So I'm displaying this addition result. Here Boolean, the second function return type is Boolean. So I'm creating a variable Boolean is equal to math the class name dot the function name. So since these are defined as static functions, class name dot function name is allowed. So I'm passing the values and then I'm displaying. Okay. So hope you are all good. Save. Yeah, it's saved. And now here, yeah. Any questions? Okay, let's
Nikita,
exit. Yeah, proceed.
I have a small question. Like in the Apex code for the Boolean in the system.debug, you wrote something for as question mark. Is it important to write the question mark or?
No, 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 no. Just
Oh,
we are getting the Boolean value displayed, right? So just I have mentioned it as true or false.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha. Yeah.
we can catch that true or false whatever way we want. It can be 0 or 1 also sometimes. Just to show us a clear result, I just written that both numbers are equal. If it
Mm,
is equal, true; otherwise false. So it will be returning.
yeah.
So it's
Got
just
it.
a display statement, not nothing.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, here addition result 3,400, 345, 3,745, and Boolean equals 1,200 and 324 are not equal. So it's saying false. So let's say I'll put it as 324 and 324, and it should say true. Okay. And here also let me change some 200, 3,600 it should display, right? Execute. True. 3,600. True. Yes. Right. So this is how we can write our functions with the parameters, and we can also write our static functions. We can also write our uh, parameterized and non-parameterized procedures. We can do that, right? So yeah, hope you liked whatever we talked today. So there is something called static methods, which we can define. When we define a method as static, we can directly access the method making use of the class name without creating an object. So we are avoiding unnecessary memory usage. So there will be scenarios sometimes where we will have to define some static functions and some non-static functions as well. So yeah, there will be scenarios that way. So I hope you are clear with what is static and static methods, and then procedures, functions. So procedures, parameterized and non-parameterized, and functions. Usually it will be parameterized. In the real-time scenario, we use the parameterized functions in more. And yeah, we will have scenarios for both static functions and non-static functions. Okay, and coming to procedures, we will have scenarios of both static and non-static. So we can also do procedures. We can also do nesting as well using the procedures. And as I said, static procedure, we can invoke a static procedure inside a non-static procedure, right? So static procedures can be invoked from a non-static procedure, but a non-static procedure can't invoke a static procedure. Okay, so that's the difference, right? So this is all for today, and we are done with this particular topic, right? We will come up with a new topic tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we will be having class. Just make sure you are available, either phone as well, at least, so that you can understand things. Just because I'm not available on weekdays on in your time. Okay, I'm available in the morning in CET time, which is your midnight. So yeah, so just be available for tomorrow's class as well.
How many
And
classes are you planning for tomorrow?
possibly two,
Okay.
if possible. Yeah.
So the timings will be the same, right? Like today.
Um, I think 8:30 a.m., right? Yours?
Oh yeah,
So
8:30 and
Saturday,
11:30.
yeah, Saturday, you guys waking up 8:30. I'm thinking
For me,
on it.
I'm free. I have off, so I'm good.
Yes, you will be having off, but waking up early would be a problem, right? No.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we will be in a mood, like Saturday and Sunday, sleep for
yeah,
more time. So we'll plan, don't worry. But
sure,
an hour here and there, not 8:30, maybe 9:30 or something. We'll
sure,
see and plan it. But
sure.
make sure you are attending either on phone or something if possible. Otherwise, laptop also if possible. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for next week also, you won't be available for weekdays, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay. Right.
Do the practice. I will ping you the notes and the assignments. Do the practice and come back to me with so many doubts. Okay.
Yeah, today's class are a bit.
Right. All right. Yeah, that is for today's class. Let us meet tomorrow again. Have a good day. Thank you.